I'll answer it by saying I've started off my career as a stock analyst. Okay. So imagine we have a stock. Okay, let's call it, XYZ. And we shot it full of holes. Like they should have been kill shots 6 times. Right? Because every one of those was a kill shot for this bull market.
Hello, everyone. This is BTC Insight, and welcome to yet another deep dive into BTC Insight. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. You won't want to miss this.
Why does he call it that? Because time and again, when markets rally quickly after a downturn, investors don't trust it. They sit on the sidelines, convinced it's a trap, waiting for the real crash to come. In 2023 and 2024, for example, many investors sold their positions in April after being told there was a 60% chance of recession. They expected stocks to fall, but instead the market kept climbing, and because the recovery was so fast, they couldn't get back in. That speed and the psychological pain of missing out fuels the perception of a hated rally.
I'd say, number one, just for people to place themselves like in history. So if you had a fact pattern of 20% gains, and then the third year's up 10 already, and maybe we'll be up 15 or 20 this year, then we're in a bull market. So whatever.
What do you mean? Then you have confirmation that it's a bull market?
Yeah, because this never happens in a bear market. You can't have
well,
a dead cat bounce that lasts 36
You
months.
can't have bull markets and bear markets.
Yeah, but then they should then place themselves in history. This is probably more of an early start of a bull market rather than late.
It's amazing because there's nobody that you would talk to who would say we're early.
But the pushback is, and there's lots of pushback, you have people saying that this feels like 2021 all over again. The SPAC boom, the new issues, NVIDIA and Microsoft. We're talking to Todd's crypto, talking to Todd's on last week. NVIDIA and Microsoft are almost bigger than energy, healthcare, staples, utilities. It feels like it doesn't make sense. But you're saying it does make sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think that a lot of those comparisons, then they don't realize, well, what's NVIDIA's rank as net income contributor? I mean, they're almost the biggest, if not
They
the
don't
biggest.
understand the granny shot.
Yes. That's right.
Put this chart up. The third time we have had a most hated rally since 2020. This is a term that needs to be retired, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
The most hated rally, because it's always the most hated rally. People just hate rallies. That's it. Not everyone. Most people like it. The most vocal people just despise.
Well, people that sell definitely hate it.
This one has been particularly reviled, I think, because one, the speed of the recovery has been so fast. As you know, many people rage sold in April because they're like, look, the economist told me 60% chance of recession. That's the same as a sell rating on the stock market. And they went to cash. They couldn't redeploy it because there was no pullback.
It was too fast.
Too fast.
Is that what creates a hated rally?
Yeah.
That phenomenon? People don't get back in fast enough?
Yeah, and I think it just shows you that people don't operate with independence. They operate with a bias. They think when something bounces, it's just dumb people buying, and that prevents them from jumping on with the buy. I mean, think about Palantir and Tesla. Netflix, they were all like retail stocks. Like someone was telling me the first time that they tried to buy Tesla institutionally, they had to bring in this like research firm from Oregon that wrote a report on Tesla. Okay. This is Jennison. And that was the first time that research firm ever got called to go to New York to actually meet a hedge fund.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So all the really big churns come because someone recognizes it, and it's not often like the crowd that recognizes it.
Okay. So the hated component of this, the hatred comes from a lot of people miss out. A lot of people can't bring themselves to buy something that's already recovered because they think they missed it. And then you have people that missed all three. They never bought because they've been waiting since 2020 for, a return to the lows.
Yeah.
And they don't get it. And then they don't get it again. And then they don't get it again. At that point, it's just like maybe stocks aren't for you.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to be snarky, but a lot of the people say, well, American exceptionalism's over. That's why I'm buying Germany, are the people that hated every rally here. And so they're trying to now create an opportunity somewhere else.
Critics often say this bull market is just 7 stocks carrying the entire index. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, NVIDIA, Tesla, and Meta. But Lee believes this is a false portrayal. Yes, these mega-cap companies are large and growing quickly, but their growth is justified by earnings power. They're not simply inflating on hype. More importantly, when you look at equal weight indices and strategies like granny shots, which focus on quality growth stocks without overweighting the largest companies, you see that performance is still strong. In other words, the rally is broader than people think.
Maybe I'll answer it by saying I've started off my career as a stock analyst. Okay. So imagine we have a stock. Okay, let's call it, XYZ. And we shot it full of holes. Like they should have been kill shots 6 times, right? Because every one of those was a kill shot for this bull market. And yet this thing.
What are the things? The inflation cycle.
Well, for COVID, number 1.
Fastest Fed hikes in history.
Yeah, and then the bullwhip chain effect was number 2. The fastest Fed hikes, the fastest inflation cycle in history, the fastest Fed hikes in history, the Trump tariff shock, and then U.S. bombing Iran's nuclear
Each
facility.
of those should have produced a bear market.
Yeah, should have killed the bull market. Or
Right.
even killed the economy.
So what does that tell you?
Just like you don't even have to know market history, just common sense. The United States is bombing an Iranian nuclear facility. Therefore, by the spoos.
Yeah, you never would
That
have
morning, nobody would do it.
If you asked me in January, I'd say, okay, we got a risk of a bear market.
Right.
Yeah.
And none of these things has produced a sustainable.
That's right.
We've had like bear markets, but not a secular bear market.
Yeah, so let's say that this stock was 16 times and we shot it 6 times over 5 years, like just kill shots.
Yeah.
And it grew earnings every year.
Yeah.
We would say the PE has to go up a lot.
And it hasn't.
It's actually lower. It's a cheaper market
It's
today.
incredible.
Yeah.
No, so I don't think most people are looking at an equal weight market.
Yeah.
So that's number one. And if they are, they're not looking at the valuation.
No, they're looking
of
at
the equal weight
Palantir.
market.
Yeah, they're looking. When people say there's only 7 stocks going up, I think it's a false portrayal of the stock market.
There are 7 very large stocks
Correct, but with the big earnings.
with big earnings.
Yeah.
Justifiably large.
Yeah, and I'd say the reason it's not just 7 because our granny shots is only equal weighted and it's beating the market this year,
Right.
and it only buys quality growth.
So that ETF, that strategy is not reliant on having a 10% slug of the biggest stock in the world.
And yeah, it would hurt an ETF because granny is an equal weight by nature. That AI is the most important driver of the global economy. Okay, but where I think people make an inference mistake, okay, is that a theme driving the global economy has been systematic to the global economy since capitalism
It's
was
always
started.
this way.
Yeah, there's always been an industrial revolution.
Okay, fair.
And even in the 80s, the retail sector was the best group for 20 years because boomers were entering women were entering the workforce, and there was a baby boomer thing on retail stock. So that was a single theme of demographics. And like the internet boom was a singular thing of actually creating digital infrastructure. So like it's always been a story of the stock market.
So the fact that the entirety of the market's gain this year is being fueled by earnings coming from this one theme actually does not fly in the face of financial history. It happens all the time.
Yeah, so it's only a bubble if spending is not driving income growth. So margins should be shrinking, or debt should be rising faster than revenue. And we don't have a leverage cycle yet, and we have margins expanding. So it's not even late cycle for AI.
It's
Okay.
all AI. Dean Christians at Sentiment Trader had a great tweet this morning. He said, the internal conflict within the technology sector is remarkable, with a significant number of stocks making new highs while others are making new lows, as captured by what's called the high-low logic index. He said last week it surged to its second highest reading ever, underscoring how AI is creating winners and losers within the sector. So in other words, in plain English, there are more all-time highs or 52-week highs and 52-week lows simultaneously than there have been over the last
So the index
60 years.
rises on increasing dispersion between new highs and new lows.
So the index
Yeah.
is being driven by the larger stocks. There's stocks that are obviously winning, we know, but there's stocks that are getting destroyed.
This is semiconductors versus software
Yep.
to me. That's
Yeah.
what I see.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because when you're in a big cycle like this, the winners are easy to identify because they have visibility. But it doesn't mean the losers are dead mat. But for now, they're kind of untouchable. This should be a good stock picking environment.
According to Tom Lee, investors should recognize that we are in the early stages of a bull market. This is not 2021 speculation. This is earnings-driven growth fueled by one of the most powerful economic themes of our time, artificial intelligence. Yes, the rally feels uncomfortable. Yes, many people have missed out and are still sitting on the sidelines. But history shows us that hated rallies often mark the start of something big, not the end. If this market were a stock, it has survived every possible kill shot and still grown stronger. And that resilience is exactly what defines a bull market. For investors, the challenge is not whether the bull market is real. The data makes that clear. The challenge is whether you're willing to recognize it early enough to take advantage of it, rather than waiting until it's obvious and too late. That's the takeaway from Tom Lee.
That's it for today's look into BTC Insight. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to stay on top of all the latest insights. Keep questioning, keep learning, and we'll catch you in the next one.